you by Monster Energy. Round 1 taking place at the Wastelands, Nanaimo, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. A beautiful setting to get into the first round and all the unanswered questions of the off-season. Series schedule this year, a couple little changes. No longer going to Saint Julien, Quebec. Instead, the sandy, epic racetrack, which is Deschambault, Quebec. Nestled in snow-capped mountains, we're going down to the leading-edge Cowie track with Frick and Frack.
Under the tent of champions, Ryan Gauld and Mark Travers. Here we are, Gauld, leading-edge Monster Energy Kawasaki. Won both championships last year, but of course there will be no #1 plates out on the track today.
No #1 plates this year, no red plates to start off this season, so we're gonna wait till next week to find out who wins here today in Nanaimo, but what a way to start. Underneath the tent, the most dominant team from 2012. They've hired some more guns and replaced the guys. Teddy Mayer now moving up to the MX1 class. They brought in Brett Metcalfe to fill the shoes of Matt Gerke, Tyler Villapoto, Austin Politelli. Once again, the team to chase here in 2013 as far as it looks right now, but hey, we got motors to go to still.
We do, and what a spectacular day we have for racing here today. If you think about last year, Goldie, of course, the skies opened up, we had a big mud hole. We've got bluebird skies today, and probably one of the best tracks I've ever seen.
You know what? I've been to this place so many years. 97 was the first time we ever had a national. It is absolutely glorious today. We got Derek Schuster of the Gopher Dudes team and Gopher Dudes facility out here running the dozer, doing a fabulous job along with the rest of the crew here at Nanaimo MX. The riders coming off after practice are enjoying it. They're happy, they're smiling, and that is going to make for great racing. Last year was a mess. This year doesn't look like we're going to have that. It's going to be a great day.
Big story in the pits this morning was the number 12 of Jerry Medaglia crashed while practicing in the MX2 class, which is a surprise because we thought he was only riding MX1. Bit of a controversy, but a bit of maybe a stir coming in. But he seems like he's okay because he's out practicing in MX1 as well.
Well, you know, Kevin Tyler, the manager of the MX101 team there, was kind of poking some fun and, oh yeah, we're running 4 motos, I bet we can do it. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen now after the big crash. Jeremy goes down, wrecks his bike, bangs his body up, but you know what? He's tough as nails, that kid. He's back for MX1, and that is exactly where Yamaha, I believe, sort of wanted that team to go. So it kind of worked out. Maybe karma bit it, whatever it was, but he's going to be back in MX1. The KTM team, the leading edge team, OTSF guys, Bobby Canary's back, Facciotti, Tyler Medaglia. Oh my God, I could just keep spitting and spitting and spitting these names, man. Once that gate drops, it is a crapshoot, like I said, Travs, and it's going to be amazing to see. The list of names is bringing us back to like old school, man. There are so many guys out there that can win races. It's just going to keep the excitement in the air all year long, and it starts today.
Nice job, fellas. We've got the MX2 Moto1 pro riders out on parade. Of course, 2 strokes, 250s now can race against the 254 strokes, new for 2013. Track is groomed beautifully to our fast qualifiers coming into this moto. Politelli, a year off from Canada, back at it. Comes in quick. Look at Benoit and Villapoto. They're super fast. Moffenbauer on the 2-stroke Yamaha goes down hard this morning in practice. Injures his shoulder, but he's lining up. Noddet, Knowles, Ingalls, Savage, Gray, and Jared Allison ran out the top 10. A concrete starting pad. Dylan Schmoke, he's smoking it up. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Wastelands, Nanaimo, British Columbia. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as we welcome 2 of 3 brand new Monster Girls. That's Jessica and Catherine out onto the track with the 30 board as Mary Lou comes across with moto number 1. And this first MX2 moto will be brought to you by MX Performance Magazine, the #1 motocross magazine in the country. Brian, you talked about the parade lap and the setup concrete start. This is the first moto of the season. All the BS stops when that gate drops, my friend.
You got that right, Travis. It goes to 5 seconds. These guys, they want to warm up the tire. Take a look at the gate is down, Travis. First moto of the year. Down this abbreviated chute into the right-hander. Looks like Savage. No, that's Brad Noddet with the huge hole shot out of Washington State.
The Cycle North Honda rider is a hole shot specialist, Brian, and he gets out of the gate with that C4MX motor of his. But we've got some action on the inside. The number 13 RTR Performance Honda of Tom Ringles, 3rd place last year in this class, into 2nd place quickly. Going on to a Politelli in 4th as we go on board with number 19 Spencer Knowles. GH4 Yamaha 3rd place.
They fly by the mechanics area up to about 80 kilometers an hour. He's right up in the back fender of Ingalls. Wow, what great action here. You can see how wide the track is. Lots of options for the riders. Knowles having a peek here on Ingalls. Ingles is right in his crosshairs as they hit this high-speed tabletop crash. They are pinned.
On the gas, Brian, to this little right-hand hipper through this back rhythm section, one of my favorite parts of the track. Right now, Brad Notted in the lead, Cope Ingles in second, Spencer Knowles in third.
What great footage on the split screen and helmet cam. We can see it all unfolding on the left and right, and now Knowles has a little company there on the outside, someone challenging him as well. He's busy trying to find an opening between these two riders. Look at the battle for the lead, it's getting intense.
Scott's taking a look on the inside. That is the 102 of Austin Politelli. He's going wide through the Yamaha corner and sneaks by Knowles in the third. We've got a four-way battle for the lead.
What options on this racetrack now? They're all kind of sticking to the inside. Look at Politelli just with a little fishtail, then just a hook up off that tabletop. Now replay the start on board with Spenny Knowles. Gets a little bit left behind initially, but then gets that Yamaha to hook right up. Just about to split these riders. Right into second over the line. The Royal distributing shot goes to Nadito.
Cycle North Brad, not in a whole shot specialist. We saw him last year just tearing up those Royal distributing shots. And now he's in the lead. We've got a five-pack, Brian, for the lead. Notted, Ingles, Politelli, Knowles, and the number 5 of Tyler Villapoto on that leading edge. Kawasaki has joined the fray. Ingles on the inside through the Cowie corner. He has the lead, but Notted is not going away.
Short-lived lead, a pair of Hondas Notted with carrying the momentum, but Ingles is not giving up at all. They are side by side for the lead. Politelli, he's got the best seat in the house. He is looking poised right now.
A pair of Hondas banging bars for the lead. Politelli the inside through this little camelback section, one of my favorite parts. And then they drop down in here, Brian. Line choice on this track is everything because of those high corners. The insides are working, but you can carry speed on the outside.
Yeah, definitely. Look at this knifing this way and that. Politelli now moves into second past Ingles up the big floater into the braking zone. They go. Look at Notted now. Notted trying to protect the inside. Politelli goes high. Trask gets the drive. Goes way wide off the racetrack.
Politelli using all kinds of options. Oh, now he stuts Notted up into that K&F intersection. And Ingles goes inside right into second place. So Notted goes from first to third in 2 corners.
Ingles still going for it. No, does not have the drive. Politelli nice and smooth on the outside. Grabs the tear off. More or less insinuating he's going to check out. But that just might fuel the fire of young Cooper Ingles, and we know he can get aggressive.
Here it is again. You've got Politelli running that high line, carrying speed. Ingles is trailing this, and Notted looks like he was pretty good coming out of there on the inside, but no way. Look at that big stuffer up top.
Wow, he gets a little loose under braking. Looks like Ingles might have a chance to challenge, but with that momentum, that is a split course there, so great track building by Derek Schuster here to give the guys options.
Taps to the battle for 10th place, the number 18 of Parker Allison up over that tabletop, but it's the Rockstar YZ250 of Sean Moffenbauer on the inside as they go that little hipper, and the 17 of Kevin Benoit, who got a terrible start. One of the series favorites right now is lurking, Brian. He is that danger man in that 3-pack.
Rockstars Moffenbauer new to the team this year on the factory rig. Just loving that 250 two-stroke. We get back to the guys up front. Notted now, seemingly comfortable in third. But look who's coming up hot. Knowles looks like he's getting a little second wind here in this photo. On board with Knowles by the mechanics area. Up-shifting, flat tracking. This is a long, fast sweeper. A little bit of rocks here. Oh no, he gets too close. And Knowles goes down, samples hard. And a very, very fast part of the track. It looks like he's up. He's getting his bike up. What a tough young warrior. A crash of that magnitude. And he's back on the bike. Here it is, Trash. Gets up too hot. And gets his front wheel right into Notted's back wheel. That is a racer's nightmare and a bit of an amateurish move by Knowles, because once you're there, you are helpless and you hit the ground so hard. Wham, bam, slam. Knowles down, but back up.
Back to the battle for 10th place. The number 23 of Josh Clark on that Devil's Lake MX Kawasaki has his hands full of the Gopher Dudes Honda of Nathan Bless. Bless looks like he's got the measure on him right now.
We saw Clark impress last year at MX1, drop down to MX2 this year. Nathan Bless on the Gopher Dudes Honda, teammates with Blake Savage, Great to see that likable young Dutch-Canadian rider up in the fray.
The number 17 Red Bull KTM of Kevin Benoit starting to find his lines as he slips by the number 19 of Knowles. Of course, Knowles still getting the cobwebs out from that crash that he just took to the battle for third place. Nodden now has his hands full of the number 5 of Tyler Villapoto, leading edge monster Kawasaki. Let's watch this happen because Villapoto's a bit of a squirrely rider. He's fast, but you just never know what's going on with him. Closing the gap on Nodden. He's been in the top 5 for the majority of this moto, Brian, looking for some decent lines through this big sweeper section. Oh my! Did he get it wrong through there? Big high side. Oh, and Villapoto's down.
Wow, he is not moving, Traz. I don't like to see this at all. It was very reminiscent to Knowles' crash, getting up close. He looks like he's moving around now. Definitely visibly shaking here. That is a super high speed of the racetrack. He's got the goggles off, so at least he's communicating.
Brian, on the splitter, we just saw the number 57 of Blake Savage on that Gopher Dune Suzuki, got into that little package with Bless and Clark and went off the track. As we see Villapoto visibly shaken, Brian. He's up walking around, but I mean, his beak is all over the place and not looking good. Here it is again.
Yeah, he goes up the inside, but he has to check up a bit because Nodden cuts him off and he gets into some soft stuff. Classic high side body slam. Wow, that has to hurt. What a brutal crash for Villapoto, struggling early on in the season. Another favorite coming in third fast in qualifying. He's got some soul searching to do now.
Guys, it's hard to see unless you're right on the track, but there are giant rocks through that sweeper section. I wouldn't be surprised if his front wheel caught a big rock and then just into the classic high side.
Well, yeah, and I think when he checked up, he might have got into some soft stuff, maybe grabbed too much front brake and just initiated a little knife in. We just saw Topher Ingles take the last lap white flag, and there's Politelli cruising in for the checkers.
Well, Brian, we think back to 2011. Politelli finished third in the MX2 Championship to Tyler Medaglia and Kevin Benoit. So coming in, you knew he was going to be a favorite. Takes the checker flag and the first win here in Nanaimo at the Wastelands. Brian, we've got podium interviews coming right up.
Welcome back to the Monster Energy Motocross Nationals here at the Wastelands in Nanaimo. What a great first moto of the season to our Yamaha leaderboard. We know our top 3. How about Benoit and Knowles after that big get-off? Soldiers into 5th. Richard Quaid quietly comes in 7th.
Winning the first MX2 moto of the 2013 campaign is the 102 of Austin Politelli. Austin, a great race. You got a great start. Took you a couple laps to get in the lead, and then once you did, you checked out. I think it's exactly the way you want to start the season.
Yeah, the moto was perfect. I mean, I would like my start to be a little bit better, but everything else was good. Just road smooth, bike was awesome, yeah, so everything went great.
The number 13 of Topher Ingles finishing second in the first MX2 moto. Topher, third overall last year in this class, and you came out swinging, my friend. What a great start from you, and a solid finish for points.
Yeah, I'm really pumped how it started. It was all about the start, and I was able to get a second place start. Austin got around me, and I was just able to kind of just try and hang on for second.
You know, I stepped back down last year and rode the 250, but I was able, that first year in 2011, I was able to kind of get my feet wet in the 450 stuff. This year we were able to do quite a bit of testing, and I feel really good right now, you know, better than I have in probably ever. With having a kid and being married and stuff and having a family now, it's a lot different. You really got to, you know, think things through and, you know, try to be safe. You know, you want to be there for your family and stuff. You know, it drives me when I get up in the morning. I know what I have to do, and I work my butt off because I want the best for my family, and you know, I want to give it 100%. But some days I can't do what I need to do because you know, my Harper comes first, my daughter. Yeah, the first couple of diaper changes weren't good. No, I think I actually changed the first poopy diaper, and that stuff, it's like it's like super glue. So it's crazy how much you can fall in love with somebody. You know, it's born and raised in Fort Dodge. All I know.
All right, Pat, the MX1 bikes are coming out of staging to make their gate picks. Now, they come out in terms of their fastest qualifying times. We're not seeing the 1:23 of Brett Metcalfe come out first. He had the fastest qualifying time. Facciotti was second, and then the number 2 of Bobby Canary is third. Quick note, though, the MX1 qualifying times were almost 3 seconds faster than the MX2.
Yeah, that's wild. Track maybe set up a little better by the time the MX1 bikes get out, the berms are formed, but the MX2 bikes have less power and soft soil, so the 450s got a little bit more jam to get around this racetrack, but 3 seconds is low. Oh, there's Metcalfe! Metcalfe. He's late. Oh, I see a bunch of mechanics waving their arms. They're not happy. He may be penalized. Gate drops next.
This is the Wastelands of the 2013 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as the lovely Monster Mary Lou brings the 30 board out. This first MX1 Moto will be brought to you by Monster Energy, the lead sponsor of this dynamic race series. Brian, quick note, we did get a word from Paul Kingsley, head referee. Brett Metcalfe only got a warning coming out of staging. First time in Canada, they gave him a bye on that one. Mary Lou has the 30 board up, and there is a great shot of our boys on the line.
Now remember, Metcalfe faster, but Facciotti has a lot of experience on this racetrack. We'll see what happens in race conditions. 5-second board is up. Of course, these concrete starting pads are no longer legal in the USA. You only see them at a few select tracks. Again, the gate is down. Mark Travers looking at jumper Yotes.
On board with the number 32 of Brock Hoyer to the splitter, and the Royal Distributing hole shot goes to Redemption Racing's Eric Jeffries, number 33, as he swung wide and took the hole shot. But very quickly, the number 9 of Colton Facciotti, Red Bull KTM, is in the lead. And remember, Brian, he has not raced since last summer. We got a rider down. I think that was Jeffries.
Yeah, but what a creative line for number 12, Medaglia there up the inside through some tires. He is very bold there with that line choice.
To our leaders over the finish line, Facciotti in the lead as they go underneath the tunnel. Canary with a great start in second. And how about the number 21 of Dylan Kalin sitting in third?
Wow, he was supposed to ride MX2 on a KTM with only about 3 weeks to go before this race switched to an Apex 450 Yamaha, sitting third on that FXR motorcycle, looking good.
To the monster lock off on that little...
Oh my! There just got right in the face and the camera just swiveled around to get another line. Couldn't have planned that better if you tried.
Mayer was about 5th or 6th. He got that inside line and then came right into your living room to the combination rhythm section into the Cowie corner, Brian. Love the way the track is setting up today. Back to the number 9 of Colton Facciotti. People were talking about the fact that he hasn't raced in what, almost a year, Brian, right now in the lead, and he looks pretty fresh right now, doesn't he?
Well, Facciotti's been a pro rider since 14. I don't think that's really going to be a factor for him, but I can understand where the pundits are coming from because Canari's been riding that whole Supercross series. That guy's been racing like crazy.
Tucked in a second as we go back to a replay of that Royal Distributing hole shot. You see Jeffries swing wide. Facciotti almost had it, but Jeffries had it by a bike length almost.
Yeah, he was going for that Royal Distributing cash. Went wide, hung in there. Fat Yotes tucked it in nicely. Battle for third is getting point right now up in the tree line double. A pair of counts. That's Metcalfe and Teddy Mayer.
The number 21 of Dylan Kalin sitting in third, but he does have a pair of Kawasaki's right behind him. Metcalfe goes wide. Mayer on the inside. Oh, did you see the way that Metcalfe got on the gas coming out of that Cowie corner? Now sitting in fourth.
Yeah, pressuring Kalin. You see a nice little battle coming up with Tyler Medaglia and Ross Johnson back up. And he's not its teammate in the MX1 class, Cycle North Honda. But here's that little battle with Mayer and Metcalfe. Mayer on the inside, Metcalfe sweeps wide here through the Cowie corner, goes up high, and you really watch Metcalfe ride, and he really carries those outside lines.
It looked like Mayer got stymied on the inside. He almost stalled his bike, but that inside line you'd think would be the faster one. Back up to the battle for third, the number 21 Yamaha, the FXR rider. That's Dylan Kalin with probably the best ride he's had in a long time, sitting third right now in the MX1 first moto. But he's got Metcalfe using that high line again, Brian. A lot of drive out of that corner, and he's got Kalin for third.
Oh man, I don't know what Dylan just looked like he got a little miscued there. Riding really good. We know Metcalfe has the pedigree like we've not seen in Canada for some years. A factory rider in the US for a decade plus. He's been teammates with all the greats. Man, he has got some skills, and he's up here to test himself against our best.
Great to have an Aussie in the series, Brian. Another shrimp on the battery as we get up to our leader, number 9, Colton Facciotti. In the lead right now on that Red Bull KTM, looking fantastic, starting to open the gap up a little on Canary as we get back to the number 7 of Tyler Medaglia. That is Facciotti's Red Bull team man on the KTM team. And look at number 4, Gavin Graysick, Redemption Racing KTM with a great start.
Interesting thing with Graysick, not even getting to ride this series this year, a last minute entry. He's only got about an hour on the KTM. KTM. Of course, KTM new with Redemption Racing. They've been synonymous with Kawasaki. So great news there. I'm sure he'll get stronger, just like last year, as the season progresses.
The RM Motorsports, that's the number 12 of Jeremy Medaglia with a nice line on the inside as he gets by Ross Johnson. These guys are battling for 8th place, so inside the top 10, still some great battles. Tour leader number 9, Colton Facciotti, who's basically just destroying this track right now in the lead right. He looks fantastic.
Oh, there's the legwork. Ala JSR, mentored under Jean-Sebastian Roy with Blackwood for many years now. Jean-Sebastian with KTM, and they have joined forces yet again. The battle for second. Look at this. Metcalfe's having a look at Canary. Look at Metcalfe. Change direction right at the base of that tabletop. But on the outside, it's Canary carrying the speed right now.
This part of the track is very tight, Brian. You can see how those corners make a huge difference in line choice with the inside and that outside. Inside is rutted. The top part is the big slingshot, and there it is right there, quarter before the finish.
Lots of options, and again, Metcalfe going wide, using all the outsides. Canary fresh off a great Supercross series. We know he's in shape, and he is mentally fit and physically fit. To our leader, Colton Facciotti, the class of the field. He's answering all questions right now, out front, cruising. Battle for second, though. It is not over yet. Look at the tenacity of Metcalfe there, Travis. And look how great this race course is shaping out.
And a quick note on Metcalfe, he had a bad injury last year, so he hasn't raced in a complete year. So he and Facciotti are very similar in that end of things, also in their speed. This battle for second right now is super hot. Canary working on his defense. Let's check the line. Metcalfe going inside. The high line for Canary in the slingshot. Oh, and he has it. And that high line brings you inside into the next corner, into the drift corner. But look at that, he crossed up and went high on that one.
Oh my goodness, he did. He got on the inside. Lap rider might have thrown Canary off of that. Teddy Bear now is lurking as well, but look at this. There goes Metcalfe scrubbing on that last jump through that off-timed rhythm. Yes, Bobby can just look on as Metcalfe finds traction over the final finish line tabletop.
Around through the mechanics area into that big sweeper. That's right about where Tyler Villapoto went down in that first MX2 moto, Brian. Here it is again. Line choice is huge. I'm surprised that because Canary had the inside that he didn't get better drive out of the corner.
Yeah, I think that lapper just threw off his peripheral vision a bit, made him hesitate on the gas, and it was all...
Oh, look, went almost off the track when he doubled out.
Yeah, and you can see where the dust and the soft stuff is. Metcalfe shows him wide, just kind of takes the line of choice into that little rut and lays that quacker over and gets on the gas, and that is a 450KX.
This battle is not going away. Now for 5th place, the number 4 Redemption Racing KTM and Gavin Grayson. Oh, and Tyler Medaglia on that Red Bull KTM got on the gas and took that inside line away from him. Really like to see where both of those guys are riding to the number 11 of Teddy there. Leading edge, Monster Energy Kawasaki sitting in 4th place right now, Brian, coming up to get his last lap flash.
Yeah, he is basically calmed down a little bit. Metcalfe has pulled away. There's a big gap to 3rd, so on the last lap, I think Teddy's just going to cruise in, salvage some points here. 4th, pretty respectable for the first moto of the day.
To our leader, number 9, that is Colton Facciotti on that Royal Distributing Red Bull KTM, looking fantastic in that Fox gear, Brian. Odd to see him with the number 9, but remember, we talked about the fact that he wasn't able to finish last year's season because of that shoulder injury. It's been a long time since he's actually finished the season. Right now, he's leading the first moto of the season. Let's face it, he looks good.
Not got a wheel wrong the whole moto. He has just buttered every obstacle, takes the win. That is in the books. He is just calm, cool, and collected. Colton Facciotti takes it in style. Stick around. Welcome back to the Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Eric Jeffrey gets the first Royal Distributing Triple Crown hole shot. They've upped it to $300. You get 2 hole shots in the next one. You end up with 1200 on the day. Not bad. Yamaha leaderboard. There is our top 10 of the day. We're going down with Gunic.
What a dominating performance. 3-time MX1 champion, Colton Facciotti. Buddy, I swear to God, I don't know if I've ever seen you ride that good, dude. You got out front right away and just dominated. You made it look easy.
Yeah, you know, I've been working pretty hard in the off season, and you know, I kind of wanted to make a statement like that. And you know, the bike was working awesome out there. I can't thank Red Bull, KTM, Fox, all those guys. SSS, the bike's just working amazing out there.
A great start for Brett Metcalfe here on the Monster Leading Edge Kawasaki, my friend. A good way to get this one out of the way. You haven't raced in a long time. Must feel good to get the jitters out of that one.
For sure, it's been a while, so it's just good to get the first moto of the year out the way. I felt good out there. I got a good start and then just faded way too wide in the first turn. Nearly went off the track, so it was a good moto. I was happy. Kawasaki Monster Energy was running great. Just got to try and get a little bit more for the second moto, but I was happy with that. I was tired of eating roost off Bobby's rear wheel, so it's a tough moto for me, but looking forward to Moto 2.
Rockstar, Yamaha, OTSF, Motovan.com, Bobby Canara doing exactly what you needed to do, man. You guys had a gnarly battle, you and Medi right there. I bet you guys have done that over and over again, but that looked like it was actually a lot of fun for you, other than the fact you're behind Colton, but that looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that was a good moto. Good way to start off the season. Just, pumped on my bike this year. OTSFF, Rockstar, Yamaha, RT3, Dunlop. Everyone's putting in a great effort for us, man. I can't thank everyone enough, and, man, I'm looking forward to this next moto.
Good job down at the podium. Cheap boy. There's Spencer Knowles. We saw him go down hard. Looks like he's rebounded pretty well. The rest of the boys. There's our first moto winner, Paulatelli, getting ready to do battle after the break. Stick with us.
Nanaimo, British Columbia on beautiful Vancouver Island is home for round one of the 2013 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as we get ready for the second MX2 Moto of the day, and it will be brought to you by Motovan.com. Fabulous.
The sights and sounds of Canadian motocross. It's a little breezy out here. We have the lovely Monster Girls getting things ready to rock. Last minute little preparations. The adrenaline is flying high, as are some of the skirts out here, Travis.
That's great to hear the two-stroke 250s out on the line. There's probably about 4 or 5 in the first moto. Number 31, Jared Stock, was the highest finishing two-stroke. Hoffenmeyer didn't finish. It is down, Brian, coming to that first corner. Who's going to get that Royal Distributing hole shot?
And it does look like the Red Bull KTM of Kevin Benoit gets the Royal Distributing hole shot. But we have got lots of problems there, and it looked like some of our front runners down early.
Topher Ingles was picking up his bike, as was the 19 of Spencer Knowles. He looked like he was at the bottom of that crash, so not a great start for him. We'll have to check back with Knowles to see how he's doing, but let's get back to our leaders. Number 17, Kevin Benoit, crosses the finish line. He's in the lead. The 102 of Austin Paulatelli is in second place. Everybody wants to see these two guys battle, Brian. They're supposed to be the fastest guys out there. Let's hope we get a race out of it.
Benoit under the bridge there, really pushing hard, gets a little sideways coming into the left-hander. Brad Nodden currently sitting third, showing well off the starts, as you mentioned earlier. Last year, nailing down so many hole shots. Oh, Knowles holding that left arm, Travis.
Not looking good, Brian. He is off the track, definitely a DNF. We'll have to get a report on his injury. Back to our leaders on the right, and a cluster right behind on the left through the splitter. Looks like the leaders are starting to gap a little bit. Nodden in third. And how about that start for the number 31 of Jared Stock? He's the third rider on the left right now in the two-stroke. Seems to be riding that big 250 well.
Yeah, well, the two-strokes are primarily KTM and Yamaha. They are the only companies really selling them now for 2013. So that's who we're seeing on those two bangers. And they have got a very good horsepower to weight ratio. And on the dyno, they actually have a little bit more power than these 250Fs.
And sometimes it comes down to cost, Brian. For young riders who are out there traveling the circuit, the 252 stroke is cheaper to run. So they can do a whole series. Here's that hole shot again. Benoit on that Royal Distributing KTM crosses the line with no problem. It looked like Nodden was on the outside, and Keelan Meston was on the inside of that Blackfoot Direct KTM.
Pair of KTMs, 1-2. There is Knowles holding that arm early in. There's never been a year he's been more prepared. He won the Arena Cross title over the winter, spent the whole off-season in California training hard, never been more prepared. Very difficult to see him hurt early, but things are getting hot up front. Look at the gap. These two have checked out on third place, Travis.
Let's check out Benoit's defense, Brian, because he's going to feel some pressure for sure from Paulatelli here. Oh, I did not like that tabletop. He didn't double down into the valley. Oh, and Paulatelli stuffs him up into the Cowie banners. That's insult to injury, especially because Paulatelli's riding a Cowie for crying out loud.
A slight miscue for Benoit cost that position on the tabletop. And then fishtailed out of the corner, now sideways again. He's got to calm down, get some weight back. Here it is. Comes in nicely there. He's off to the left on the low line. Just gets a little cross-threaded, doesn't quite clear. Paulatelli lands butter down in the valley. Parks himself a semi-block pass right away. Tries to respond, does Benoit, to a big fishtailer.
Looked like a little bit of a kicker off that tabletop, Brian. Let's get to the battle for fourth. The number 23 of Josh Clark sitting in fourth with a great start on that Devil's Lake MX Kawasaki. Oh, Nathan Bless, 26. Go for Dunes Racing Honda with a nice line on the inside. And here comes Richard Gray. Rockstar Yamaha, nice little package in the top 5.
Little Richard in all yellow looking really good. We want to comment on Clark. He's on a Kawasaki, but it's a white bike, so it's hard to recognize. We got some action through this left-hander. Boy, oh boy, block passes happening all over on these high banks.
Keelan Meston running the 29 Suzuki of Zach Deanna up into the banners, and it looks like the 15 of Jared Allison on that Yamalube Yamaha in this fray right now. Nice to see Deanna up in the mix because he's the only Suzuki that's riding in that top fray in this class.
That's the battle for 7th right now, and we saw those Suzukis do so well in the Supercross 250 class in the U.S. Good to see that yellow representation up here. This is actually Deanna's first year as a modified pro, because remember, he was pro-am last year.
That's right, and all the way to number 29, so a great year for him last year. Let's hope he can carry the Suzuki mantle as we get back to Bless and Clark, still waging war for 4th place. Brian, through the Suzuki corners, they drop down into this little up-down section into the drift corner. Line choice, so important down here. Freight training for Clark right now.
See how choppy it is when you watch their suspension pretty much all around this track they're working. Oh no, Bless just leaves the door open, getting set up for this rhythm section, and he's offline with Clark. And you know what, interesting here, we're seeing passes from both the inside and the outside. These guys are making both lines work.
100%, because usually the high line carries more speed as we've seen in the past, but boy, Clark got on the gas real quick. Brian, we've got a bike off the track. And I think it's our leader. It is. It's the number 102 of Austin Politelli. Went through those drift banners, and he's got a problem. There's no question. And Benoit is right on his tail.
Oh, Benoit's right up bumping it.
We're not sure what's wrong with Politelli. We saw him off track, Brian. That allowed Benoit to close the gap, and now I just saw him look down. He's either holding his knee or looking down at his bike. Benoit gets by and in the lead, and we see the number 13 of Topher Ingles. He's a lap down right now, Brian, so let's get organized. Let's see if Politelli pulls him to the pits. No, he checks off Ingles, and he is grabbing his knee, so there's something wrong for sure.
Oh, he's pointing at the bike for his mechanics, and his left leg does look like it's outboard a bit. Let's see if we can see something. No, he just looks like he goes wide there. What on earth? Did he get a rock? Or I don't know, but there's that big bump and almost throws off Benoit. He makes evasive action, gets back on the gas. As we can see in the replay now, big kicker for Benoit there. Politelli holding his left knee, his left hand off the handling bar there, holding his left knee. He's got some issues early.
Well, the fact that he's back on the track, Brian, probably means body and not bike to the number 16. Cycle North Honda, Brad Nodden in 3rd place, but a very quiet moto for Nodden. Been in 3rd almost the whole moto. That's going to be a pair of 3s for him if he can finish this moto. That's a good day for him.
Wow, I love that line he's got coming in wide, missing all the bumps, finding traction. He's just on cruise control. Let's face it, these guys are starting to get tired. You know, it's a nice day. It's about 24, 25 C. A lot of energy expelled in a race. So on the last lap, the guys are usually just hanging on, trying to maintain position. Politelli now looks like safe in 2nd, but that is a nice way for Benoit to kind of turn the tables here in the 2nd moto.
Definitely. Politelli cruising in 2nd place right now on his last lap to our leader, number 17, Kevin Benoit, with that gift from Politelli. You know, it's interesting. Benoit doesn't necessarily want to win like this, but you'll take the points when you can get them, because it's motocross, anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure. And all the whole KTM Red Bull team sponsored by Marin Bicycles as well. So these guys have great training tools. Benoit back on the factory KTM team after a year off. He got bumped in favor of Jeremy Medaglia last year. Did a privateer half season on the KTM, but back under the full tent of the big rig. Medaglia moved on to 450 Yamaha. Benoit seals it 2nd moto. The Yamaha leaderboard, Politelli hangs up Nodden, Clark does well, Bless, Richard Gray, a solid moto. Nice to see Swanson in there. Jared, Topher, and Parker rounded out.
Kevin Benoit doing exactly what he needed to do after a bit of a rough first moto there in that first MX2, buddy. Got yourself off to the Royal Distributing hole shot, couple $100 right there, and you did exactly what you needed to do. You got a bit of a gift, Austin, something happened, but hey, that's motocross on the podium. Round 1 feels good.
Yeah, it feels good for sure to get a win already here at round one. The day started off a little rough with me, but I mean, second moto was okay. It's not how we want to win. I know Austin got hurt or something, but still I rode safe and did what I need to do.
The 1-6 going 3-3 today here in Nanaimo, starting off an unbelievable way to get it going, Brad. Brand new team, brand new face. Everything's just looked like it working. Dude, you were solid all day. There was no mistakes out there.
Thanks, man. I got 2 good starts on the day and put together 2 30-minute motos for a 3-3 and got a 3rd overall. And that's all I wanted to do this weekend, was just be on the box and just come out of here with some solid points, because there's 8 more rounds, right? So
got a report on Politelli. A big, huge gash on his leg required a number of stitches. I think he'll be ready for next weekend in Kamloops. To our overall on the day, we know our top 3. Topher Ingles takes 4th, then Clark. Richard Gray's in there. Jared Allison, Nathan Bless, Swanson, and Parker Allison round out the top 10. A great shot of our boys on the podium. MX1 after the break.
Welcome back to the Wastelands in the 2013 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. This is round 1 as we prepare for the final race of the day. This is the second MX1 Moto, and it will be brought to you by RoyalDistributing.com. The lovely Mary Lou sauntering across the line with that Moto 2 board. The MX1 pilots are getting ready, Brian. The 30 board is up. It's go time, my friend. Remember, concrete start, got to get that tire up to temperature. You really got to get a good jump out of this gate because it's such a short start.
Yeah, we got teammates here, Facciotti and Tyler Medaglia side by side, the 9 and 7 respectively. Kalen right there, the 21. There they go, they sit back a bit to get traction and unleash those 450 cc's of horsepower power. They round the corner, Travis. Who's got that shot?
It's the number 4 Redemption Racing KTM of Gavin Grayson with that Royal Distributing hole. Shit! That's a pair for Redemption Racing already today, Brian. And look who's in the lead. The number 9 of Facciotti. And I saw the 123 of Brett Metcalfe. Leading edge Kawasaki, second place. This is setting up to be a beauty.
Wow, we'll see if Metcalfe, he knows Facciotti, he knows his track well. He's going to try and tuck in behind him and learn his lines. If I was Metcalfe, I would just be pulling out all the stops to get right up as close as he can to Facciotti, see where he's going on this track.
Nice little cluster as Mare goes inside underneath the tunnel. Another good start for Ross Johnson. But right now, Metcalfe wins his moto. He'll get to the overall, Brian, because remember, the second moto score is the tiebreaker.
Well, everyone had Metcalfe as the easy winner. Facciotti proved everyone wrong in that first moto, and he's already checking out by a couple seconds here.
Our leaders on the right side of the split are going through that combination rhythm section into the Cowie corner, and we have a nice little cluster back behind them, Brian. Tell you what, this track, although the lap times are a little short, it really sets up great racing though.
Definitely, and this place known for the shale, the roost out here is punishing, but over the years they've brought in a lot of fresh dirt, mixed in sawdust, wood chips. It's actually become a very nice loamy track, but down underneath you get to those layers of shale, and towards the end of the motos, that stuff comes up and it gets slippery too, and also this place known for flat tires.
Here is the start again, Brian. We talked about how short the stretch is into the right-hander. Grayson gets a great line on the outside and then stays on it, and Metcalfe was in second there. Facciotti on the inside quickly gets into the lead over the tabletop.
Yeah, Metcalfe looked like he had the lead, but Facciotti gets inside. Doesn't even play dirty, plays totally fair, and just uses outright momentum and a bit of speed there to get back in first. But look at Canary. This guy, we know he can charge. He is like a little Tasmanian devil. Third place there off rhythm with Tyler Medaglia and Team Dags. This is third place on the road.
Medaglia moves into third place. Bobby K on the inside at fourth. I saw Mare in the mix. The thing about what I'm noticing about this track right now, Brian, is how choppy it is. I find it very choppy. The bikes are bouncing a lot coming into the corner.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's very choppy. We talked about that earlier. Everywhere, there's not a lot of spots to rest. Up in the air, they can rest maybe through that mechanic sweeper area. Not so hard on them, but this track very punishing, keeps the riders, as Goldie would say, on their toes.
To our leader, number 9, Colton Facciotti, Red Bull KTM, on a bit of a sprint right now, Brian. Opened up the gap on Metcalfe in second. Both of these riders, though, are pulling away from that package that was battling for third to the battle for sixth place. Our hole shotter, number 4, Gavin Grayson, Redemption Racing KTM, goes wide on this little hipper, the number 12. That's the RM Motorsports Yamaha of Jared Medaglia. So he's in the mix. Oh, step down. This is the battle for fourth. Canary and Mare. Oh, loving the track, Brian. I love the way it's setting up.
And look at the body English on Teddy Mayer, just forcing his body forward, using everything he can to lunge up on Canary. Takes the inside, has a peak. Canary carrying momentum. He feels Mayer there, and he can hear the vibrations. That's some tight racing.
And Colton Facciotti's teammate, number 7, Tyler Medaglia, sitting in third, was in that fray right there. So, Brian, so we got a cluster for third. Metcalfe keeping Facciotti honest.
Metcalfe right now cannot respond to Colton Facciotti. Colton looks like he's on cruise control, but I love it. Jeremy Medaglia, number 12, he has slipped by Teddy Mayer for 5th place right now in that lime greeny yellow shift gear, looking all the part of a champion. They talked about him moving to MX1, maybe not being the right move, but he's proven them wrong right now. Look at things right now. Oh my goodness, that is number 7. All squirrely on the inside, but he's making a charge on Canary.
Canary has moved up to third. Oh, and there's some contact out on the track, Brian. This is for third place Canary on the inside. We know he's as tough as nails. And there's Medaglia on the outside through this tailback section. Oh my! Canary just blasted him right off the track, Max.
Creative lines being used by all these riders. Canary up the inside, misses the jump coming into the corner, and then shoulder checks number 7, Tyler Medaglia, right off the track. He rejoins, though, in behind him to mount a second charge.
And here comes Jeremy right through that Motovan step down, gets by his brother who has a problem on the inside. Now Jeremy goes inside and Canary and takes over third place. What a pass!
What a slingshot maneuver in that inside rut for Jeremy Medaglia, handling that big bike masterfully. Shows Canary to the edge of the track. He does not want to get pressured by him, and now Teddy has jumped back in the mix. What a battle! 4 top-tier riders going at it hard.
This is for third place, Brian. 4 riders for third place. What a cluster, what a race. We're crying out loud. Now, Jeremy Medaglia is in third place. Bobby K's back to 4th. Tyler's in 5th, and Teddy is in 6th place. Unbelievable.
Every spectator here is at the edge of the fence right now. Oh, there's that first little bit of contact, a little shoulder check. Screws up Canary, but opens the door, and now back at it right before the rhythm section. Another bit of contact, not too blatant, but
come on,
that's shape of things to come, maybe.
That's classic Canary. Let's face it, that guy, he's not a rough rider, but he will ride tough. And here's Jeremy Medaglia on the inside with that great slingshot. Boy, he got on the gas quick through that slippery corner.
He just cut about 50 feet of real estate off that Bobby took and just got on the gas with awesome technique, rolled on the throttle at big 450, and off he goes. 3rd place, very good for young Jeremy.
I'm not sure that Bobby knew that Jeremy was coming. He's probably worried about Tyler and his defense, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he left the door wide open there, but look, he's found a charge trap through the back rhythm section. He's on the outside, and he gets by him again in the Cowie corner.
Canary is loving those outside lines, but I love that little crossover from Jeremy. Bar to bar through this really rough section. Choppy coming into the one corner. There's some contact. Oh, and they go down fast. Get out of town.
No way! Once Bobby's taking his time, they must be exhausted at this point. Oh, there goes Jeremy's. Both bikes are running, but I think Canary got a little bit of the wind knocked out of him. He's slow getting up.
Right, just saw Mayer go by, so that puts him in 5th. Right now, Canary is in 6th place. Tyler got by when both of those riders got down, so he's in 3rd. But let's be honest, right now, Brian, there's our leader, number 9, Colton Facciotti, and there is definitely something wrong with the bike. Look at the way he's riding it. It looks like his rear suspension is spooched, for crying out loud.
He keeps looking down. Last lap, you're right. It looks like the back end is flopping around. He might have a blown shock or a subframe bolt. Could have come out, who knows? But here it is again. They get a little bumpy and grindy, and then they both end up in the same rut, and boom, down they go. You see Jeremy respond quickly, and Bobby's just kind of taking his time there.
Well, let's be honest. Coming into a corner with Canary, you got to be ready for it. There's no question about it. I don't think that was dirty riding necessarily, but there was definitely some contact as we saw Tyler go over and get his last lap leg with Jeremy hot in his heels. Here's our leader, number 9, Colton Facciotti on his final approach, and there's definitely something wrong with his motorcycle.
Just a quick note, not a lot of rules in this sport, so that is fair game for a little contact. Yeah, things look a little bit askew on the back. Cruises in though, nonetheless, takes the checkers. He doesn't mind one bit. We'll let the technicians look at that, but things right to the wire. Young Jeremy's making a move on his brother. Here they come, big fishtail. Tyler's off the track, a lapper in the way. This is for the final spot on the box.
Jeremy gets by him as they drop into the valley with Colton Facciotti coming across the finish line and taking the checkered flag, Brian. Let's get to our Yamaha leaderboard.
Despite Facciotti's problem, he's a clean sweeper. Jeremy gets by his brother at the end to make it stick. Ross Johnson takes 10th. We're going down with Travers.
fashion, going 1-1 today here at the Wastelands to open up the 2013 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals is the number 9 of Colton Facciotti. Colt, big smile on your face. Big questions coming in, but I think all the questions are answered with your performance today.
Yeah, I heard some people talking on the internet and stuff saying I wasn't racing, and or I haven't been racing, and I wasn't really in race shape, and I think their predictions were I was going to get top 5 or something, or 5th place. So definitely proved them wrong. You don't need to race in order to do good. It's just the routine that you do and the effort that you put in. And I got 2 good starts today, which really helped out. That kind of made things look really easy, and got out of that roost. The Nanaimo here, that roost hurts.
A spectacular race day in the MX1 class with the number 12 at Jeremy Medallia. Jeremy, what a race that you had with your brother, with Bobby Canary. Teddy Mayer was in the mix. I'm really pleased to see you up on the podium. I think that's got to be satisfying based on the way that the day started, I think.
Yeah, I had a bad crash in the first TDF practice, and that kind of shook me up a bit, but thankfully I was good enough to race for the day, and I mean, it came down to the wire. That one, me and Bobby got a little bit close, and me and my brother again, that moto at the end, but I mean, I'm really pumped for the whole new Iron Motorsports team to be on the podium.
Wow, are we in for a treat this season? Our overalls, Facciotti perfect with 50, Metcalfe hangs in there. Gotta like what we're seeing from the rest of the field, though. We are in for an exciting year. Glad to have you with us here at the Monster Energy Canadian Motocross Nationals. There's our top 3 at MX1 on the day. I want to thank Mark Travers and Ryan Gauld for all their hard work today.
Thanks, Fats. You have been watching the 2013 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals, brought to you by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories. And RoyalDistributing.com, Canada's power sports leader. Special thanks to the Nanaimo Motocross Club and the CMRC track crew for putting on a great race. It's off to Kamloops. See you next week.